Jose Mourinho is back. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk. Breaking news: Jose Mourinho apparently wants to manage Man United again. And straight off the bat, I have to be honest, I would love to see him back in the Premier League. I think his box office, I think he's a character. He makes the league more exciting. I still think he's a top coach, despite what some people may think. But is he the right option for Manchester United? Sam, just give us your feelings and thoughts as soon as you saw that news breaking today.
Sorry, to mute myself. Absolutely not. I don't want him back at United. I think he's a legendary manager. He's won everything there is to win with several clubs. One of very few managers to win trebles. And successful in pretty much every club he's been to, maybe bar Spurs, probably the only one. Mm-hmm. But you could argue he was denied the opportunity to be successful because he was fired before the cup final. So I think football's passed him by a little bit. I think football's moved on. It's a bit different sport to when he was in his pomp. And we've seen what happens. 3 years, it all goes to pot and it falls apart. And United are trying to build for the long term. So for me, no. But if he wants to come back and manage Newcastle or something like that, then yeah, cool. I'm down with that. It's always nice to see him. But yeah, not for United.
Okay, well, let me read out the actual articles and we can dive into the finer details of it. So, this from Mike Keegan, saying, Jose Mourinho has made it his mission to take charge of Manchester United again should he get the opportunity to do so. Sources close to Jose Mourinho say he feels he has unfinished business after leaving United in December 2018 and has made it a mission, like I said, to take charge again. He's also keen to work with a new regime at United with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos taking over football operations. Now, I want to describe a scenario to you here, Sam. All right, and hear me out. So, we get to the summer. The league, we fall off. We finish 8th. Knocked out the FA Cup in the next round or whatever. Doesn't go to plan. They decide to get rid of Erik ten Hag. Is there a better candidate out there than Jose Mourinho?
There's about 30 people I'd put in front of him.
Go on. Tell me who you would put in front of him.
De Zerbi, Emery.
You see what De Zerbi's doing with Brighton at the minute?
Yeah, I know.
Won 3 in the last 16.
They have got, like us, they've got significant injuries. Mitoma's out. What's the midfielder? Encino's out. Like, they've got significant injuries. So it's Emery. I'd pick Emery over Jose every single day of the week.
But he's not available at the minute, Emery.
He could be.
I'm saying managers that are available.
Yeah, but do you want a manager who's out of work, or do you want a manager who's successful and you can take him? I don't
know if you could.
That's how United, yeah, but with Ineos and with the new operation and the way we're doing things, director of football, all that sort of stuff, that's what we should be doing. We should be going after the best in class. And if they've got a job, then sell them the project, sell them the opportunities, tell them what the plans are, all that sort of stuff, and get them in. Don't go for, we've done Mourinho, it's been done. Like, let's not do this again. Like, it's not going to.
You wouldn't even consider him.
No. Like, I wouldn't consider Ollie again. And Ollie arguably played our best football post Fergie.
I didn't win anything.
No, but probably some of my favourite memories in football watching United since Fergie was under Ollie, but I wouldn't have him back. I wouldn't have Van Gaal back, and he was arguably the manager who had the most style of play or significant style of play, and I wouldn't have him back. So it's just, need different ideas, different things. This is the equivalent of needing a striker and signing Igalo and signing people like that. It's like,
I think that's disrespectful to Jose. I still think he's
not anymore.
Very, very good coach.
Right now, he's mid-table, pushing Europe type coach. That's where he is right now. Roma, Europa Conference League. Where are they in the Serie A, Roma?
Everywhere he's been, he's won trophies.
Yeah,
and the only reason why he didn't win a trophy at Tottenham was because he got basically fired before he got a chance to play the final.
But he was toxic to the club. He was falling out with people left, right, and centre. Same at United. He was chucking.
Can you blame him though at United?
No. I understand, but you've got to keep that in house. Like, you can't be every week going to Luke Shaw. He's shit. He has to think with my brain, but like that kind of stuff. Like, you just can't be doing that. So for me, absolutely not. I respect him, legend. Probably the 4th best manager of all time in the Premier League. Like, he's up there. He's one of the best. But football's moved on. Like, it's moved on for me.
Okay, let me ask you this then, right? if Jose had Ineos above from the start, from when he first came in, do you think he would either A, still be at United now, or B, won a lot more things?
I think he probably would have won a league. However, you've got to then take City into account, haven't you? Because the only reason Ollie finished second and didn't win a league, and Jose finished second and didn't win a league, was because of City. And why is City at the top? Arguably because they've cheated and they've got 115 charges, 115 reasons why they're there. Same with Liverpool. Liverpool probably should have won 3 titles, but not for City. City were just like ridiculous. But again, 115 charges hanging over the head. So you've got to take that into account as well. Even if Ineos were in earlier, you've got to take that side into account.
Well, obviously, it's not United aren't going to be the only ones. I mean, I don't personally believe Ineos would look at him anyway. I don't think they'd bring him back. I just think the whole kind of, especially after you look at stuff like Pogba after bringing him back and then all that kind of work, it just never seems to work, does it? So I don't think they will be doing this. I'll just kind of preempt it with that. But we're not the only club in the Premier League. There are other clubs. Mm-hmm. Who do you think would be sniffing around Jose Mourinho? Who do you think would be a perfect fit for him? Where do you think he could go now and win and be really, really good for a team?
It's got to be somewhere short term, hasn't it? Like anywhere with a project or anywhere that's thinking long term is probably Mourinho-esque. So that probably rules out Aston Villa because they've obviously got a project with Unai Emery. Probably rules out Brighton because they're the ones who look long term and look at other factors. Probably rules out like Brentford. Brentford's probably like another one that rules out. Arsenal, because of his history at Chelsea, probably rules him out there, and Tottenham. So that probably rules him out.
Imagine that a third time at Chelsea. Jesus Christ.
I mean, they've made stupider decisions, haven't they? Let's face it. They've made stupider decisions.
It wouldn't surprise me if Tom Bowley's already contacted him. It really
if he ends up at Chelsea, I'd be like, of course it would. Newcastle is a possibility, man. It's a real possibility. Like if Eddie Howe, I know they had a very good win yesterday against Villa, like absolutely battered him. But if he's unable to get them into the Champions League again this year or not win anything, you might think, let's get Josie in, get him to qualify for Champions League. Let's get a trophy under our belts for 2-3 years. Maybe that's the option while they wait for the next manager that's going to take them up. Their Pep, their De Zerbi, their Emery, their guy who's going to take them for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years. That's what, because in a minute, Newcastle, everyone around them who they could poach are probably on a similar level. It's just like, why would they move? So if Eddie Howe was to go, maybe Jose's there. But I struggle to think of one besides Chelsea and Newcastle.
I think Newcastle are definitely the best ones. And I also think sometimes people forget the relationship that a coach has with a player, that like he could just bring players over that he's worked with before, top level talents, and bring that kind of X factor to Newcastle. Now I'm sure if you were speaking to Newcastle fans now, they'd probably say, no, we love Eddie Howe, all this kind of stuff. I get it, but if you want to win trophies, I genuinely believe if you went and got Jose Mourinho, you would win a trophy, whether that be a League Cup, FA Cup, whatever it is. Newcastle United fans have been starved of trophies for 50 years, whatever the fuck it's been. So I think Jose Mourinho is a perfect candidate, and I want him back in the Premier League just purely because he's fucking box office. I loved his interviews at United. I know some people didn't like him, but when he's giving it like 3 times, this means 3 times? That means I won 3 Premier League championships more than any other manager. Like, he is box office, so whether he doesn't come to United or not, if he came back to the Premier League, I think that'd be fantastic.
Could we, because Ten Hag's press conferences tend to be a little dry, like, let's be honest.
Yeah, just draft him in for that.
Let's get Rangnick and Mourinho as our press people.
Yeah.
Just get them in.
And just talk to us about the Glazers and the ownership.
Exactly. Like, that would be amazing. Just get them to chat shit. I'm all for that.
Well, he did a podcast with John Obi Mikel, who's just started one up, and I thought a couple of the quotes off there were interesting. He said, so in regards to United, this whilst he was still manager at Roma, saying there are still people in that club, and when I say people, I mean some players, but also some other people, probably John Murtough, that are not players, that are still there when I told United after 2 months, with these people, you are never going to do it. And they are still there, probably meaning Rashford, Martial, these kind of guys.
Yeah.
At Manchester United, I changed a player at half-time, and his agent was then accusing me of bullying, which is just fucking mental, innit?
It's going on. You can see it though, like all these people who are like, oh, Ten Hag's got to go, Ten Hag's got to go, he's not motivated, blah, blah, blah. You see the shit that Jose was dealing with, and some of those players are still there. And you've seen it again now. Rashford with Sancho, players just not giving a shit, not putting a shift in, not caring about the club, and just all about why am I getting dropped? Why I ain't getting the money? Why am I not getting this? And they're just having a fucking tantrum like children. So it doesn't surprise me. Like, I feel after he left, and then everything that he said has come true, I'm kind of like, I feel bad for him. I really do, because it's just shit he's had to put up with, and now Ten Hag has now inherited the same shit and having to put up with the same shit. Like, no manager can succeed at United under the crap that's been going on. No one.
Yeah. Which now kind of like just feeds into the narrative, doesn't it, of, like you said, with everything that's continuing to go on. And everyone, when you look back and reflect on managers' interviews and Ralph Rangnick's interviews, spot on that. Literally everything. Ronaldo, all the people who left the club have been bang on about it, and it's absolutely no coincidence whatsoever. And obviously Ineos are going to come in and they're going to have a big effect on that, but there is something released actually before from the Muppeteers who mentioned about Ineos and recruitment and all this kind of stuff with director of football effectively, and I said Ineos will have taken into account the recommendation of Omar Barada for the new director of football, and they want to make the appointment quickly after the 25% stake is officially ratified. Paul Mitchell is unlikely to be Manchester United's new director of football. And that seems a quick shift on it, considering he's been a favourite for a while, right?
Yeah, it's disappointing. It seems like they're only going to have one person, which is a bit weird. Like, I thought it was going to be like a pairing. Like a Dan Ashworth, who's the director, and then the director of football and what's the word I'm looking for?
Head of football operations?
Yeah, there's like two titles in it. It was like basically one's in charge of overseeing all the football stuff, and then one's in charge of like recruitment and player development and stuff. Like whatever the titles are. I thought it was going to be two, so like ideally you'd have like Dan Ashworth as the director of football, overseeing all footballing operations. Then you'd have Paul Mitchell as the head of recruitment, who's going to in charge of the scouts, in charge of the training facilities, how we develop players, how we sell players, all that sort of stuff. I was hoping for that sort of thing, but if he's not going to be a part of it, it's a little bit disappointing.
Too many cooks? Do you think they're thinking like too many cooks for the broth? Like power kind of struggle a little bit?
Possibly. Maybe they said to Paul Mitchell what structure was going to be. Maybe he wasn't happy with it. Like you said, maybe there was too many people above him and he wasn't down for it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting because they've started well with the Omar Barada appointment. So hopefully they continue along that vein and we get somebody in who's football brain, who's got experience and can do the job. So as long as he's in that ballpark and he's worked for a big club, like some of the names I've seen mentioned, all quite big clubs, all quite successful clubs. So I'm hoping that's where we go. I'm hoping it's not like a random person we never heard of, he's not got any footballing experience. That's when you start to worry.
Yeah, that's what we discussed off camera. I think Miguel Delaney put something out, but again, both of us will clarify. We don't believe Miguel Delaney whenever he releases anything at all, but it's been put out there, it's news, so we kind of have to report it. Ineos have narrowed their search for Manchester United's new sporting director and are focusing on foreign influence. Bayern Munich's Christoph Freund, I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, probably butchered that. Outgoing Roma official Thiago Pinto. I mean, there'll definitely be links with Jose Mourinho if he leaves there. And former RB Leipzig director Max Erbel. And I'm sure Rangnick will be giving him some words of wisdom as well. But, yeah, look, whoever it is, I mean, suppose it doesn't really matter on the name. If it's not Paul Mitchell, like, it's not the end of the world, is it? But as long as it's a top high-level executive, that's kind of the route we've got to take in it.
Yeah, like, if you've got a Bayern Munich like guy who's worked for Bayern Munich, let's be honest, like they've not had many misses, have they, when it comes to recruitment and when it comes to success?
They're well run, extremely.
You know
what
I mean? So like, if it's like, oh, you're not getting Paul Mitchell, but you're getting a guy from Bayern Munich, I think most of us would be pretty happy with that. I think we'd be all right with it. Yeah, Paul Mitchell would be great, but again,
also as well, on Paul Mitchell, sorry to interrupt there, but he's done really, really well, but at clubs that are one level below United, I'd probably say. So he did a fantastic job. I think he started at like MK Dons, did well at Southampton, Tottenham did well, Leipzig, and then Monaco. But like, it's never, as far as I'm aware, been a club like United stature. So I don't know.
It could be interesting, but I think maybe journalists made a bit more of it than there is, because he is from Manchester. He lives in the area. He's out of work, so maybe they put two and two together. And maybe United were never actually looking at him. Maybe United never actually spoke to him. And journalists are just trying to sort of connect the dots a little bit. Maybe that's the case.
Just bizarre, though, because for the past 6 months, we've been speaking about Paul Mitchell. He's been like the strongest name that's been linked with it. And I always felt like it was pretty much nailed on that he would be, but just shows, sometimes things change. Right, the last thing I want to discuss, unless we've got any comments we can read out in the chat.
Let's read some comments out.
Go for it.
Where are we? Yeah, Oz is asking nothing of Muppeteers. He's a busy man, but we'll definitely try and get him on soon. I'll send him a message.
Yeah.
Shrez saying, no. I don't want Jose. I wouldn't take De Zerbi either. I would genuinely take Ollie over Jose in this moment. There you go. Jale, we've got a dramatic finale in Europa League with Ollie. 11 pens by each team. It was De Gea who could not keep his cool. I mean, we got to a lot of semi-finals as well, so let's put that in. Dan's just put in the story you just mentioned. It's Sam. I assume that's Shah Sam because he's a member. I think he's changed his name, but
okay.
We need a manager like Jose, but not him. Someone will do it for me. Dino, I still give Eric Ten Hag to the end of the next season. He's only halfway through a rebuild. We stopped getting rid of managers after 2 years. I agree. Dino has also said Jose at Newcastle. Yeah, we just mentioned that. Jale, Newcastle got all the money in the world, but they're unable to spend because it's a small club. I don't think the one that says because it's a small club. It's because of FFP, isn't it? Like they overspent the last couple of years, so now they might get done by this commission that Forest and Chelsea have been done by. Not Chelsea, Everton have been done by again, haven't they? So I think that's what they're on the risk of. Dino, I think Newcastle players are more suited to his style. Shreyas, they want to make it a single tier system. Barada has been given full authority in making a call for who to bring in as a director of football. So there you go.
Yeah, well, it seems like they're making the right decision, so I'm not going to kind of question it at the moment. In regards to the director of football, just I want someone good and someone efficient and high level. I think that's a lot of us could kind of agree on that. And thank you everyone for your comments. Please do leave a like on the video for us and subscribe. The last thing I want to talk about, Shreyas, cover your ears. Facundo Pellistri's agent, Eric Ten Hag, hasn't used him, valued him, or treated him like a professional. He has a loan that the boy decided to go on. All of Manchester knew Ten Hag summoned him against a 4th division team and he didn't use him. Do you think he's been disrespected, Sam?
Disrespected may be the wrong word. I think he's had opportunities. Last season, he got the games against Real Betis, Barcelona. This year, he had a run when we played like Bayern Munich and stuff like that, didn't he? He had some games, and he was all right. He showed some quality and he showed some willingness to get forward and a different option to what Anthony offers. Like Pellistri is very direct. He wants to put balls in the box and stuff like that, which is what you want. But I think on the physicality side and on the aggression side, he's very lacking. Gets shoved off the ball too often, gets muscled out of the way, that kind of stuff. So I think he was kind of lacking in that. I think if you're going to be one of those direct wingers, you have to be like stronger. You have to be fitter and that. And he's what, 23, 24? Like he's not young, like super young, is he? He's in the older 20s.
I thought he was younger than that, but yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to Google it just to sort of...
I thought he was 2021, but again, I've been wrong on these things before, so let us know if you know in the chat. I'm sure Shreyas knows his fucking date of birth and his mother's maiden name.
Yeah,
if you was to ask him.
He's born in 2001, so he's 23.
Yeah.
So he's like it's not like he's 19, 20. Like, and he's still like he should be hitting his prime.
The expectations there, older than Anthony, kind of thing.
Like I'd expect something, and maybe a loan's his option. Maybe the Premier League isn't hit, like it's too high for him, or it's too intense, or it's too physical for him. It's not to say he's a shit player. It's not to say he can't have a career, but maybe that's just what it is. Like, we've seen other people who looked fantastic at other clubs. Donny van der Beek came to United, didn't work, man. Memphis Depay looked fantastic. Came to United, didn't work. So it's just, it is what it is. Like, I like the kid. He seems like he's a good lad, and I hope he has a great career. I don't think he's been disrespected, but I think you could argue Ahmad definitely has so far. Like, the lack of opportunities he's not been given. I think Pellistri's been given solid opportunities in my eyes anyway.
Yeah, I think that winger dynamics interesting going forward to see who's actually going to nail down a place there, because you can't keep. I know Anthony did all right against Newport, but you can't just keep consistently playing him until just hopelessly waiting around for someone has to get an opportunity sooner or later, and that may be kind of the hill that Ten Hag dies on with Anthony, because he's just not been performing there at all. And maybe that is their frustrations. I know Sancho had frustrations with that. Clearly, Ahmad has, Pellistri has, but again, I don't think Pellistri has grabbed the bull by the horns, but he's done okay, but he's not been that, you know.
He's gone on loan now, which is, according to his agent, is what he asked for and what he wanted. So he's gone out and he's gone, look, I want to play, and he's gone and done that, which is what you need to do as a footballer. When you look at like sort of Jadon Sancho, who willingly sat there and just was like, I'm not asked, until Dortmund actually came a call in and sort of thing, and he was just like, oh, I'll just go back to where I know. He wasn't interested in it, and that's the sort of difference. Sometimes you have to force your way out to get a career and get to do something, and good on Pellistri for it. I just hope, like you said, I hope Ten Hag realises at some point that this Anthony thing's just not going to work. It's not the option. It's been a failure. It's been overspend, and he's not good enough, and we need to sort of rectify that in the summer. And until the summer, honestly, just give the minutes to Ahmad, see what he's got, because Pellistri's had the minutes. Anthony's had enough fucking minutes. Sancho has had enough minutes. So let's give Ahmad a chance and give him the minutes that Anthony will be getting, apparently.
Yeah. Interested to see who starts tomorrow against Wolves. Of course, we will be live for that game, pre-match and post-match. Make sure you come and join us if you can, and be wonderful. Leave a like on the video for us. Drop us a follow on socials, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, if you don't already, for, you know, aesthetic images, news reports, reels, all that kind of jazz. Hit that subscribe button, and me and Sam will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for tuning in, guys.
Let's just read out a couple of last comments in it before we go.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Sam. We are wasting him. He's a very talented winger. Shreyas, he's 22, and he's crying. Dino, there's a great shout about Ahmad, and then Shreyas. Hopefully, we see more Ahmad get more minutes. Can't watch Anthony anymore. There you go. Final comments from people. Oh, Chronic the Hemp Hog. Fantastic name.
Yeah, love that.
Jose 2024. There you go.
Yes, Chronic. Love that. Box office, wherever he goes. I wish you well, Jose. And we'll leave it at that. Take care, people. See you in a bit, you legends. Peace.